interview recently where he says, "Come see me, I'm the boss, I call all the shots." What do you think about it?
No, he's not the boss. He's dreaming. Along with his promoters. They're not the boss. No, Tyson's the boss. Tyson Fury, lineal, WBC, heavyweight champion of the world. Don't shit yourself when he goes abroad. Can win abroad. Best man in the world all round to date. You know, get in line. Fall in line. Because if he don't pull rank on you, I will. You're number 2, mate, not number 1. And between number 1 and number 2 is a gulf at the moment. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. But he's a great lad. I like him. I like AJ. Great for the sport. Looks well. Promoter's dream. You know, sponsor's dream. If I had him, I wouldn't want to put him in front of a wrecking machine like Tyson yet. I want as much money out of AJ as I possibly can make. But they can make more outside the ring with him than what they can inside the ring. So why do they want to risk him? That's why Eddie Hearn's dragging his heels, or Barry Hearn, whatever, who's never dealing with him.
Wow. Those are the words of John Fury, father of Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, saying that Anthony Joshua does not call the shots. He is number 2, and between number 1 and number 2, there is a gulf between them. You know, one thing I like about John Fury is John, he will smash you down, break you down, and then kind of pick you back up, you know. I like AJ, you know. And but he'll break you down, but then he'll pick you back up with a compliment, you know. And but let me counterpunch, okay? I recently, because of this, I went to the community. You know, I wanted to know what people thought of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Who is the A side? Because this is what it comes down to. The A side. Who calls the shots? Really, okay? And out of 2,000 votes, okay, because I did this a couple of hours ago, it was about 1,000 votes an hour. So, you know, shouts out to everybody that actually voted thus far, okay, because I'm pretty sure that number is going to increase as time permits. But here's the tally thus far. Out of 2,000 votes, Tyson Fury is at 20%. Anthony Joshua is at 61%. And 19% is to whoever wins. Now, I put that there because, you know, basically at this point, since it's a 50-50 split, whoever would win this fight would be considered the A side. But let me break it down to you. That's not always the case. Floyd Mayweather himself is the one that really educated us on who and what the A side meant. Okay. Now, when I say A side, I don't mean A class. Okay. There's a difference. A side, A class. There's a difference. Okay. A class means a caliber or skill set. Okay. Like A, B, C, D style fighters, you know, ranked in skill set. That's a class. Okay. Side is the person that is worth the most money. Okay. Now they're both significant to me. I didn't ask who was the A class fighter. Who's A class? Who's B class? I didn't ask that. Okay. We won't know that until they fight. I asked who is the A side in this saga. And I said saga because it's supposed to be more than one fight. Okay, so, and out of 2,000 votes, 61% said Anthony Joshua. And 20% said Tyson Fury. And then what people are confusing this with is, how many losses do you have? Has Tyson Fury been beaten? Anthony Joshua's been beaten by Andrew Ruiz, so he cannot be the A side. Okay, now whoever believes that is absolutely wrong. Okay, the A side means who sells the most tickets, who makes the most money, who's the cash cow, who's more marketable, who's more profitable. That's the person that's the A side. Okay, let me give you an example. Austin Trout, no doubt Trout from the Midwest, not the Midwest, but I think he's from New Mexico, beat, upset Miguel Cotto in Madison Square Garden, right before Cotto was going to fight Canelo, right? Austin Trout upset that man. But who was the A-side fighter? Miguel Cotto. Why? Right? Why? It's because he was the one that had the money backing. He was the one that had the name. He was the one that made the most money. He was the one that filled the seats, people. Okay, that's the difference. And it doesn't have anything to do with the better fighter. The better man that night was Austin, no doubt, Trout from New Mexico. Shouts out to him. He's one of my favorite fighters, actually. You know, that's not on that elite level no more. You know what I mean? Because he's had his wars in the ring. But I respected him as a fighter, and he gets 100% credit for upsetting Miguel Cotto. All right? But he is the B side. Okay? Cotto is the A side. He was the B side. And even if they fought again, Austin Trout would still be the B side. Okay, so it really wouldn't matter because at the end of the day, who will be more profitable between No Doubt Trout and Cotto? It would be Cotto because Cotto has the following. He has the country behind him. He has New York, the other little Puerto Rico, right? So he is the guy that has the seats filled. He's the guy people go to see. They go to see Miguelito, right? Miguel Cotto. Right? They come to see him. They don't come to see necessarily No Doubt Trout unless you put him up with somebody. I've seen Trout fight live. He's very exciting, but he is in a lot of these situations, in a lot of these fights, he is the B side because he's not the most marketable fighter. He doesn't fill the seats. He's not he's not a guy that fills arenas. Okay? That's the difference. So, using that example and going back to Joshua and Fury, who filled Wembley 2-3 times? Joshua. How many times has Tyson Fury felt Wembley? None. You see what I mean? He fought Vladimir Klitschko in Germany. Okay, but he didn't break numbers. When he fought his 2 fights with Wilder, did he break any numbers? No. Okay? And he was in exile, right? For 3 years. So, for one, when he did beat Klitschko, he didn't do anything to really build momentum to get him where he probably would have been. Anthony Joshua took over with the endorsements, you know, with the image. You know, he is the guy, he's the likable guy that, you know, has a lot of money backing him. He makes more money. Okay, anybody that makes more money, that means they sell more to reflect what they're worth. Okay, that's why they get so much, because they sell so much. So that's the A side. Now again, Tyson Fury could go in there and beat Anthony Joshua if they fight. Okay, that's one thing. But to call Tyson Fury an A side compared to someone like Anthony Joshua, that's a totally different story. And let me leave you guys with this. If Tyson Fury wasn't the A side against Deontay Wilder, how in the Hades is he going to be the A side against Anthony Joshua? Regardless if Anthony Joshua lost or not, it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with belts. It has nothing to do with the accolades. It has nothing to do with any of that. Okay? Joshua has 1 loss. Fury has 1 draw. So what? That's not the point. The point is, who sells the most tickets? Who's made the most money? Who's the most marketable? Who's the most profitable? His name is Anthony Joshua. Now, you can say, oh, well, hey, he took a 50-50 split. Why did he take a 50-50 split if he was the A side? Because he knew that damn fight wouldn't have happened if he wouldn't have took a 50-50 split. Look what happened in the Wilder situation. Wilder pissed and moaned about a split, right? He pissed and moaned about a split because he knew the profit that Anthony Joshua made. He knows that man makes money. Everyone knows Anthony Joshua is probably the highest paid boxer on the planet right now. And surely after this fight, yeah, he will be the highest paid. And if you look at Canelo had to get a restructured deal for the zone. So they paid him less because of what happened and then the fighters that he was fighting. All right, so he ain't that guy no more. He might be number 2 now. But it's Anthony Joshua, bar none. So that explains to you guys the guy that's selling the tickets, the guy that makes the most money, the guy that breaks the records, okay, the marquee ability, that marquee guy is Anthony Joshua, not Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury hasn't done anything comparable to Anthony Joshua. Okay, so what his father is saying, and I think maybe he's getting confused with, hey, my son will beat him. If he does, okay, that means he's just a better boxer that night or a better fighter that night. But if he beats Joshua and never fights Joshua again, people, does that mean Tyson Fury can go on to sell more than Anthony Joshua has? No. Will his stock rise? Of course it will. Okay, because now I beat Wilder and I beat Joshua. So it's going to rise. But he will never make the amount of money fighting anybody else besides Anthony Joshua, guaranteed. I don't care if he does fight Deontay Wilder the third time. Deontay Wilder has to show himself worthy to even get back into the ring with that particular guy. That's if he doesn't get the rematch. He has to do something to spike his marquee value. Okay, which we haven't seen any evidence of him doing yet. But he has to do the same thing to even make that fight a comparable fight to the saga with him and Anthony Joshua. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this particular video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.